best shortstop in Major League Baseball? Who's elite? Who's good? Who shouldn't be playing? That's what we're going to find out in today's video. I'm going and ranking every single shortstop in Major League Baseball on a tier list from elite all the way down to backup and platoon. Every team, every player, giving my opinion on them. You guys know the drill. I've done this video with a bunch of different positions already for years now, so if you don't know, I don't know where you've been. But if you are new here, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the baseball content. But first, I gotta tell you guys a secret. I've never been fishing before. But for those of you who've been around for the channel for a while, know that I'm a huge gamer. That's why I want to shout out today's video sponsor, Fishing Clash. Fishing Clash is the best fishing game I've ever played. I'm someone who's never been fishing, has no interest in it, never really even thought about it, and right now I'm spending my free time playing Fishing Clash on my phone. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be saying that either, but this game is actually super fun. Fishing in real life is boring to me, and that's probably gonna anger some of you, but I just don't have the time for that. What I do have the time for, though, is fast-paced fishing, and that's exactly what Fishing Clash gives me. The graphics for a mobile game are fantastic, look very realistic. There's a skill tree to help upgrade your profile and upgrade your fishing rods and locations. There's clans, there's games, there's tournaments, there's competition, but that's why I like Fishing Clash, because it takes all the fun parts of fishing and puts it into a mobile game that I can play for 5-10 minutes at a time rather than spending 3-4 hours out at the lake. Since Fishing Clash was kind enough to support today's video, I'm asking for a little bit of your guys' help by supporting me. Download the game by clicking the link in the description, or you can even scan the QR code that you see on screen right now and use my special gift code GiraffeNeckMarc to get a $20 value reward for absolutely free. To redeem the code, all you need to do is click the button with 3 lines in the top right-hand corner, click on gift codes, and then type in GiraffeNeckMarc and claim. You'll get a unique avatar, a mythical lure card, 50 luck power-ups, and 30 weight power-ups that just help you play this game better and make it more fun. Again, the link is in the description to download Fishing Clash right now, or you can scan that QR code, use my special gift code GiraffeNeckMarc so you can get all these amazing free gifts. Thank you to Fishing Clash for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. Man, we are getting this started off with a really difficult one to rank. Anthony Volpe. Volpe is, I think he's going to be a great player. I think he's played a lot better as the year has gone on. Defensively, he's looked very strong, which is surprising because it wasn't necessarily his glove that he was really highly touted for. It was his bat. His bat, he's shown the power, 20 home runs, but he's still kind of struggling a little bit at the plate. I think, truthfully, I want to put Anthony Volpe in solid. Very good glove. He's about a league average bat as a 22-year-old in a lineup that has little to no protection. I think Anthony Volpe's solid. I'm going to be like optimistic about him. Also, Jersey kid, represent. I'm going to put Volpe in solid. With Bogaerts, if we were only talking offensively, obviously he would be in the elite tier. He's one of the better hitting shortstops in all of baseball, but defensively as well, he's pretty horrible at the position. Not great. OAA hates him, and honestly, watching him play shortstop, he's a bit of a butcher. So I'm not going to punish him too hard. I still think he's a fantastic shortstop, one of the 10 best in Major League Baseball, but I cannot put him in elite. I'm going to put him in all-star. He's a great hitter at the plate, but he's got to improve defensively to get into that elite category, because you need to be that complete player when there are so many good shortstops. Speaking of which, what a year Bobby Witt is having. He is just casually in front of our eyes become one of the best shortstops in all of Major League Baseball. The offensive numbers from the outside don't look like crazy off the charts. He's probably rocking like a WRC plus around 120, which is still 20% better than league average, but defensively is where his game has just completely taken off. He's obviously a great base runner, but defensively, he's one of the most elite, if not the best defensive shortstop statistically with OAA this year in Major League Baseball, and the bat's great. Bobby Witt Jr. is going in elite for me. In just his second year, he is already one of the best shortstops in all of Major League Baseball, playing on a horrible Kansas City Royals team. For Pena and Crawford, he's just not that guy anymore. He's going into 36, 37 years of age, and he's basically a backup platoon right now. Like, he platoons with Paul DeYoung, and that's what he is. He's just not very good anymore. He's old. It finally happened. Father Time caught up with him. My take from a few years ago maybe was a little bit early. Now, I think we can comfortably put Pena and Crawford down here. He's still got a great glove, but just not really enough to be playing every day. Oh, Carlos Correa, what do we do with you? What do we do with you? You have been so painfully mid this season. So mid. And it's been super disappointing, not only to like just baseball fans, but I'm sure Twins fans are like, why? Why is this happening? We finally pay a guy and this is what happens. Feel pretty good as a Mets fan, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in solid as well. Like, I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's elite maybe like I thought in years past. This year, he just kind of starting to look a little bit older, a little bit more run down, which is crazy because he's only 29. 28, turning 29 in like a month or 2 weeks or something like that. But the injuries just seem to be catching up and piling up on him. He's not moving as well as he used to. He doesn't have that oomph. Carlos Correa, I think, is a little bit lower than where we thought. By the way, I need to say this for every video. Where they're placed inside the tiers really does not matter. I might move a couple guys to the top, but otherwise, like, they're just being thrown in there. CJ Abrams has low-key been great in the second half. Now, he has, like, struggled a little bit, I think, the last couple weeks here, but he's been hot and cold at times this year, but the hot has been so good. He's going to end up with close to 20 home runs on the year, an OPS around 700. He doesn't play good defense, but I see the potential with CJ Abrams. I'm going to move him to solid. I'm going to move him to solid. He's probably right on the borderline right now of solid average, but I'm thinking of that upside. I'm thinking of the kind of player he could eventually become, and I love it. I love it. CJ Abrams could be really good. Corey Seager, you are looking at the best shortstop in baseball. I am going to throw him at the top of elite because I just believe he's the best shortstop in baseball. The offensive numbers he's put up this year are absolutely disgustingly insane. Think about any adjective to explain good, insane, wild, crazy. That's what Corey Seager is. In what, like 90-ish games, he has 28 homers, 35 doubles, 84 RBIs with an American League best 343 average, 405 on base, 654 slugging, 1060 OPS. What? I don't care how he plays defensively. By the way, it's like average. It's like average defensively. Don't care though. When you hit like that, you can do whatever you want. He's got an OPS plus at 182. Corey Seager's elite. What a stud. So while Dansby Swanson is about a league average hitter, like he's going to have 20 home runs, 750 OPS, nothing to write home about. Very average at the plate. Defensively, again, he's elite. He's phenomenal. He might be as well with like Francisco Lindor and Bobby Witt. He's one of the best defensive shortstops, if not the best in all of Major League Baseball. I'm going to put him in All-Star because his defense carries him that much higher. Bo Bichette gets hurt by the defense. Dansby Swanson gets helped. They end up relatively being the same value type player. They have different roles for their teams. They both work. They're both very good. Dansby Swanson, that contract's going to look great. He's just going to be a really good player for the next 6-7 years. Like exactly how we expected. We got La Cocoa, Elly De La Cruz. Oh, where do I put you? Where do I put Elly? Because realistically speaking, like he's one of the most exciting, fun players in the league, and the ceiling is just, it's incredibly high. But what we've seen, he's cooled off quite a bit. Definitely cooled off a little bit. Starting to play a little bit better. I think right now, speaking completely honestly, Elly is a solid shortstop. I'll just put him ahead of CJ Abrams because people are going to scream and freak out. I think he'll eventually be elite one day. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. It's honest. But he is totally a very good player right now. Someone you'd want on your team, and it's the future value you're thinking of where he could be one of the best shortstops in baseball. I'm not giving up on my boy Ezequiel Tovar just yet. I'm not putting him in backup platoon. I don't think he's there. I think he is an average shortstop right now. Colorado's weird. It's a weird team. It's a weird situation. He is so young. He's played great defense at shortstop this year, which kind of helps with his WAR numbers, or accumulating WAR, I should say. But he really hasn't hit that well because, again, he gets to play pretty much all his games in Coors, half his game in Coors. So for me, I'm going to put him in average right now because he's not really hitting great, but his glove's been awesome. And I'm not giving up on that bat just yet. He's had spurts. He's had spurts where he's looked great. Oh, my boy, Francisco Lindor. You know we're dropping him in the elite category. He is one of the 3-4 best shortstops in all of Major League Baseball. He's doing it again this year, shutting up the Lindorks and the haters. And I know, hey, you, Braden from Atlanta, or even Joe from Long Island, who just hates Francisco Lindor because he's a Met. Whatever your reasoning is, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're dumb. This guy's like top 10 in Major League Baseball in F4 this year. Elite defensively, 99th percentile in OAA. 25 homers, 25 stolen bases, 25 doubles this year with 80 RBIs. Playing elite defense, WRC plus around 120. He's a stud, he's elite. And if you don't think it, you're an idiot. I'll say it. You're dumb. That one was for you, Michael from Philadelphia. Gabriel Arias, I think he's kind of average. I think there's a world where he can turn into a good player. He's someone whose cards I bought a lot because they were cheap and I liked his bat a lot, but his glove has actually looked pretty good thus far in Cleveland in the little sample that he's played at shortstop. He's definitely got some pop in the bat. Like, there's a lot of things that you could get excited about with Gabriel Arias, and he is only 23 years old. Big, strong dude. I think we'll just put him in average cautiously right now, but don't be surprised if this guy just like randomly has a breakout year because I feel like he has one in him. So Geraldo Perdomo walks. Like, he gets on base. That's cool, but he hits the ball about as hard as I do. His average exit velo is 85 miles an hour. When I went to Arizona and hit with King of JUCO, that's how hard I could hit baseballs. I was hitting them consistently 85 miles an hour. That's a little scary. It's a little scary. He doesn't hit the ball that hard. So, I mean, Geraldo Perdomo, he's a good fielder. He gets on base. I'm going to put him in average. Like, he has a world where he brings value to this team, and he's been pretty decent for the Diamondbacks this year. He has cooled off a little bit in the second half, but yeah, I think he's just an average shortstop realistically. Like, Jordan Lawler's going to take that job next year. Probably should have taken it already. Ooh, Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson he's pretty awesome. He's pretty sick. He's Defensively, completely fine. Fine at shortstop. That's all you need when you swing like him. I'm not going to put him in elite just yet because I've seen basically like a full season. Oh man, a full season's kind of gross. Wait a second. His full season's actually kind of crazy. 27 homers, 31 doubles, 806 OPS in 161 games. Oh, where do I put Gunnar? I think I'm going to leave him just outside of elite. Just outside. So close. Oh wow, Gunnar Henderson has been phenomenal and the Orioles are just so awesome. What a cool team. What a cool player. What a cool name. His name's Gunnar. Big fan of Gunnar Henderson. He'll be one of the better shortstops in baseball. Maybe even before the season ends. He still is. He's so good. Yeah, Javi Baez, just put him in backup platoon. He's terrible. Wow, Javi Baez stinks. Crazy how bad he is. He doesn't even play every day. Zach Short is playing just as much as Javier Baez right now. I mean, talk about dodging a bullet. The Mets got Francisco Lindor. He's awesome. And they avoided giving big money to Javier Baez and Carlos Correa. Oh my God. I'd be having a mental breakdown right now if I gave Javier Baez 6 years, $140 million. Like, what a swindle. What a steal. There's no way around. He's bad. As for Jeremy Pena, what do we do with him? What do we do? Where do we put him? Because defensively, he's just gone completely backwards. He was great last year, not great this year. Kind of makes you think that these offensive numbers, you need to see it a little more consistently before you kind of stake your flag in there and proclaim. And offensively has not been great this year. There's definitely a little concern there. That's the lack of power. I'm going to put Jeremy Pena in average. I think he is. I think he probably was a little bit overhyped. I even said it last year that he probably was a little overrated. He's probably just a very capable shortstop. I think he's probably better defensively than the numbers lead on this year. Offensively, though, I'm starting to lose a little faith. He seems like just kind of one of these league average hitters. I'm going to put him in average, and probably people are going to freak out, but that's where I go. I don't care if he was the World Series MVP. I really don't. It's one series that you play well. Joey Wendell, yeah, backup platoon. Like, I love Joey Wendell. I want him as a utility player on the bench for my team, but I don't want him playing every single day at shortstop. Might be working for the Marlins, like whatever, they're winning some games, but Joey Wendell every day at shortstop. You can't be feeling great about it. You can't be confident. You can't be feeling awesome. There's got to be better options. JP Crawford, what a year. What development we've seen from him. You've been seeing it year after year after year. He's gotten better and better and better. This year, he has given up a little bit of the defensive numbers. OAA doesn't love him. But at the plate, he's been one of the better hitting shortstops in terms of like WRC plus this season. He's got an on-base percentage almost at 400, 390. JP Crawford's going in all-star for sure. He is one of the 10 best shortstops in the league. I don't know where I would rank him just yet. I got to compare the numbers at the end of the year and just kind of keep everything in mind. But JP Crawford has looked awesome. One of the major reasons why the Mariners have been competing for a playoff spot, taking over the AL West. JP Crawford's having an awesome year. Criminally underrated, by myself included. I didn't give him love the last few years. I didn't see it. But this year, JP Crawford is that guy. Leo Piguero. Where do you go? I don't really know what to do with you. You just haven't really played that much. They're probably just like average. I think he's probably average around at everything. I think he's probably an average shortstop who hits decently okay. I don't know. There's not much to say about Leo Piguero. He's just fine. He's fine. You don't want him every day unless you got a stud team, which I guess kind of fits in with these guys. I just don't see the upside with Leo as opposed to some of these other players. Mason Wynn. I'm just going to drop him to average. We've seen him play 15 games. He has struggled mightily. He probably isn't ready, truthfully. And I think the Cardinals will probably stop giving him some AB so he can still be eligible for the Rookie of the Year award next year. But yeah, I think he's going to end up being a good player. It's just we haven't really seen much this year, so I'm not going to take too much stock. One of the rare times you're going to see two players from the same team because Ellie and Matt McClain both are kind of playing shortstop when Matt McClain was healthy, so I'm going to rank him as well. And I think I'm going to put Matt McClain in All-Star too. Like, there's just a lot of really, really good shortstops this year. Matt McClain's been hitting, granted, very hitter-friendly park out in Cincinnati, but he's been playing solid defense. He's a great hitter. I think he's an all-around really good player. Realistically, probably is more of a solid player throughout the entirety of his career. That's just where I see him ending up. But right now, based on what we've seen, sure, I'll put Matt McClain in All-Star. He's been great. Miggy Rojas, backup platoon. Dodgers fans know it. He knows it. He also hates me. You guys want to call me biased? Here's my personal bias. I don't like Miguel Rojas. He doesn't like me. He called me out on Twitter when I just didn't really rank him highly. And I stand by it. I don't think he's one of the better shortstops in the league. I think he's a backup platoon player. So guess what? Backup platoon, Miggy Rojas. I don't know. Do you hate me? Maybe I'm getting a little crazy, but I like to kind of just start this up that there's one player that watches my rankings that hates me, and it's Miguel Rojas, since he's one of the only ones who's commented publicly. Jess Chisholm, I know you watch, but I know you like him, so it's okay. Nick Allen, you're also backup platoon. Wow, shocker. The age shortstop who's the bad hitters in the backup platoon. That's all I'm going to say. Sorry, Nick. I don't mean to completely dump on you, but you're playing because it's the A's. Orlando Arcia, one of the surprises of the year, made the All-Star team this year, which is just kind of funny because it's a first half contest, essentially. He's cooled off quite a bit, though, in the second half. Not as good, but still a very solid player. Going solid, good defensively. He's been good enough at the plate for this Braves lineup where this guy's going to hit ninth, and they are just loaded at every other position. Like, oh my God, this is my 9-hitter, my shortstop who plays good defense. Yes, sign me up every day with that lineup. Very good player, and he's still only 28. The Braves do it again. Just phenomenal job by their front office. Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah, we are not going to rank Wander Franco. Bad. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? Why? Children, what are we doing, Wander? Okay, that's my yelling for this video. Let's talk about Taylor Walls. Not as good. Off the field, way better. Has to be way better. On the field, not even close to as good. Yeah, probably a backup platoon. Just probably not that great. They kind of don't really know what to do because their star, future MVP, franchise player likes to talk to children. So, yeah, sorry, Tampa Bay Rays fans. I was a huge Wander fan. Not anymore. What in the world do I do about Tim Anderson? Like, what do I do? I think the White Sox are toxic. I think the White Sox front office is moronic. I think that you can't really get better as a player being a part of that organization. We've talked about it. We saw the stories. I feel bad for Tim Anderson. It's a guy who I think has some dog in him, has been good in the past. I'm not going to crush him because of one bad year, and it's been historically bad. He's the worst shortstop in baseball, I think, statistically this season. I'm going to put him in average. Give him the benefit of the doubt. This is a lost year. Bad year. He'll come back, bounce back, be better. Get him in a smart team. I'm sure he'll be pretty good. Trey Turner. Oh, boy. Where am I going to put Trey? Where do I put Trey Turner? This is actually kind of difficult because he was like the best shortstop in baseball. This year, he's definitely taking a step back, but he's starting to heat up again. And we're starting to see like, oh, there's that great Trey Turner. I think, truthfully, he's going to be like just on the fringe, and putting him in All-Star is going to make Philly fans mad, even though he could totally be an elite because the years prior he's been so sick. But I want to get you guys a little bit mad and just put him in All-Star, even though he's probably the 4th or 5th best shortstop in Major League Baseball. So for those of you who actually listen, you're understanding what I'm saying. One of the 4 or 5 best shortstops in the league. Before just winding people up and the fact that nobody else on this list is going to go in elite, Trey Turner goes in the top of All-Star. Shout out to Phillies fans, though. You guys have been cheering him, and it's been helping. You've been positive, and he's been playing better. I wish more fan bases would do that. I can't believe it's coming from Philly. But you know what, Philly? You get a little clap. You get a little clap from me for not being the complete garbage humans that you normally are. Trevor Story. Weird one because he's playing bad and he's coming back from a big injury and he's playing terribly. I think Trevor Story is probably solid. I'm not giving up on Trevor Story just yet. Whatever. 23 games after major surgery. He looks terrible. I don't care. Check on him next year. See how he's doing. I think he's probably a solid shortstop still. Like, I like him more than all the guys below him, and I just can't put him in that same tier with a guy like Leo Verpagero. I just can't do that. What happened to Willie Adames? Oh my God, what a horrible year. 85 OPS plus, OPS plus below 700. Defensively, still great, so I guess I'll put him in solid too, because again, this is like the worst year he's had in a minute, but wow. It's been horrible this year. Horrible at the plate. Kind of crazy that the Brewers are even in first place considering just the down years some guys are having. But I guess Yelich is playing well, so that helps. Adames will bounce back, though. He can't be this bad. There's no way. Not with an 84th percentile barrel rate. That doesn't make sense how bad he is offensively. Just so much swing and miss. Xander Bogaerts. I don't think he's elite anymore, but I think we're starting to see that he's not the same player when he was in Boston as he is in San Diego. Still going to go in the All-Star tier for me. Definitely, again, not towards like the back end of this. Defensively, he's actually been decent this year, but we know he's been pretty horrible in the past. Still kind of hits the ball on the ground too much. Still not really hitting the ball that hard. I think he's still a good player. Still in that all-star tier of like that top 10 range at shortstop, but not where he once was, which was one of the 5 best shortstops in baseball. Because he's just not really playing that well this year. He's playing fine, completely fine, but the bat not being elite kind of takes him down a notch. Zach Neto. Where do I want to put Zach Neto? I think he's going to kind of be in this similar range of Ezequiel Tovar and Leo Verpagero and all these guys. Guys that I think are fine shortstops, can play every day. You're not going crazy if these are your everyday players. I think they still have potential. I still think there's room to grow. I was a big Zach Neto guy out of Campbell University, fighting camels, or maybe it's just the camels, whatever they are. He's a really interesting player. I think he will be good, but he's just been bit by the injury bug this year. See him healthy, see him playing every single day. The Angels also just hurt. This is the Angels. It's so tough with them. I think I'm going to put him in average. And here here it is. Here's the tier list from elite all the way down to backup platoon. I got 3 guys in elite. There's a bunch of guys who are really close. Like you could realistically put Gunnar and Trey Turner, I think, in elite, and nobody would really blink an eye. Maybe even JP Crawford, maybe even Bogaerts. I don't know. You guys can let me know down in the comment section below which guys you think are elite. All-star, where did I mess up? Where did I get it right? Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. And don't forget to download Fishing Clash. Again, link is in the description, and use code GiraffeNeckMarc. Follow me on all my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in description. And that's where I'll wrap up the video, guys. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent tier list, the third base tier list. Check it out if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.